Good morning, Salon, and good morning to those in the diaspora. Again, on all today, una sit down proper one. I'd advise that some of una please, me audience them, una go take pen and paper for write down some details them we'll go for subscribe today. Based on some my own personal hypothetical view, but it not gonna be too personal because we go with what's in history entails. And with history, one of the main vital thing what we try for do today, we try for associate all the tribes that get in a salon, who side they originally come up from, or who side they originates from. We all know say we get about 12 tribes them, but if you look through the web and other tools them, you go see say there's more tribes than a salon than we expect. We will clarify all this today for let me audience them or me students them get the right details today. So me go be una professor. And remember that what I do so today for una the professors them where they teach in a high institution, whether na FBC, Njala, Unimark, and the rest of the other major universities in a salon, we now forgot to take their subjects they are very serious when they discuss about history. Because again, if we don't know we roots, we're not gonna know how they go before. If we don't know how we come about, we're not gonna know how we go before and strengthen we community as a whole. And remember, history then they redefine we as individuals. So for now we start this conversation today properly, I want to say thanks to Allah for the inspiration, or to God for the inspiration, and I feel and hope say this message go correctly and directly for the one day we on the wait. And last but not least, I want advice. If you hear something we're not too clear to you before you put any comment, try for re-listen again. Because I'm not here for big fool you. And I'm not here for any tribal issue. This is not a tribalic talk. We're not here for point figure or segregate or declassify any group. Because war salon really starts. Again, we all not belong here. We all just come. So nobody no own salon and nobody no get salon. I'll make sure we be mindful of that. So Lord puts with tribal business, bien, and Lord starts this right with justice. Okay, now Lord starts now for elaborate here. Good morning again once again. And this now boy again Tazmo, Sliz the servant. Today now history day. Well, we'll be done discuss about the 5 previous tribes them on previous episodes. But I go refresh the mind again on them tribes there before we continue. And the other tribes that we'll go talk, we'll go do small background on them and also elaborate on them as well. Well, we'll be done elaborate on the Fullers them, the Mende people them, the Limba people them, the Timni people them, and the Creole people them. So I want to start again for refresh the mind. The Fuller people them, which my audience is then also their own views them, their own contributions them. We all long come together. We all long agree saying that some of them places they are, some of them people they are come out. The Fullers then they come out originally from North Africa, around Sudan area, Morocco, Algeria, Egypt, Mali, around the 8th to the 11th century. Then the Mende people them, they migrated from Mali Empire. And again, I got to emphasize on this continent. What's a continent? This country, Mali. I want to make Leona keep this very in mind. Mali, and there's another word what they try to prescribe to una. The Mandi people them. Mali Empire and the Mandi people them. I want to make Leona always keep this in mind while we go on this journey. So again, the Mende people them, they migrated from Mali Empire, the Western Sudan, around the 15th century AD. That means after the death of Christ. Then the Limba people also, they migrated from Mali, Timbuktu, Sudan, Congo, Nigeria, Guinea, and then they end up in Salon, Sierra Leone. Then the Timni people with history. But today we will go further. It tells we say the Timni people they reside and migrated from Futa Jalon, which is Guinea. No dates, no time specific. But today we go relate with another tribe or another group. We go show say the Timni people also get a long history as we progress. Then will not be declare the Kono people it, but we discuss of the Creole people. And the Creole people we all know now how they come about. Based on the slaves they wouldn't take in Africa or the West African coast. Then Cargo, they first come back and they go give a place now Freetown, which the Creole becomes a tribe. For una where they dispute where they say Creole not to tribe, una need forget this that una age say Creole not tribe. And I go make una understand at the end of this program. So now, Louis, continue. For some people, they believe say we get 16 tribes in a saloon. Some others, they believe say we get 12 tribes in a saloon. Well, I want to hit the nail for all them tribes there. Well, the 16 tribes who them people here think say we get, I want to say them out. Lona back be aware of them tribes there. But we not get 16. We get the Limba people them. I always go plan for put the Limba people them before, because now then first we know say sit down inside Mama Salon with history. We get the Limba people them, we get the Susu people them, or the Soso people them, the Young people them, the Kranko people them, the Kono people them, the Gizi people them, the Fula people them, the Loko people them, Timni, Creole, Shabro, the Gola people them, the Bulums, the Krem, the Galina, and the Mandi people them. So this don't give us 16 tribes them. But then 16 tribes there, we get some there we're missing in action. Well, currently, no, they're not Salon. Maybe don't extinct. We don't know. But so the 12 tribes now, I hope someone had to take note. What we get na Salon presently, we get the Limba, the Kranko, the Kono, the Gizi, the Loko, the Timni, the Yalonka, the Mende, the Limba, the Shabro, the Creole, and the Soso people them. The Soso and the Mandingo people them are they classified in two groups there as one people them. And una go understand as we continue. So if I start for talk of the Soso, unless if I want to differentiate them, I make una consider the Soso people them and the Mandingo people them as one people them. Based on this topic. So the 5 foundation tribes them as we progress. Because we need to clarify certain things then before the topic become very serious. And mind you, when I not grab someone and sit down, because things to get very serious soon. The 5 foundation tribes them, what we get? The Limba, and I write this down. The Mende people them, the Timni people them, the Fula people them, and the last but not least, the Kono people them. And some of you are going to wonder, why make the Creator no day? Or why make the other groups no day? Well, what do you mean by foundation tribes them? These are the first tribes them we can recite na Salon. We starts for grow. All the other tribes them, now join, they can join, then groups they are. Maybe based on relation. And I will prove say, all that we tribes then na Salon, we get a great relation and we all come out from one place. I will verify that as time progress. So again, these are the 5 foundation tribes them, and the sub-tribes them go be the Gizi people them, the Loko people them, the Shabro people them, the Creole don't become a sub-tribe. the Kranko people them, the Yalonka people them, and again, last but not least, the Susu or the Mandingo people them. They don't become a sub-tribe na Salon. So now, let me continue. Things don't begin to get interesting. At one place, 10 people there, or 10 tribes there, now certain location, who said they all they dwell, or they live, or they inhabit, before we begin back, they hit the nails them. So this, I will consider this area the relation, the amalgamation, the continuation, or the formation, or the formulation of them with tribes there. So with the hits now, Kono people them, the Gizi people them, and the Kranko people them. Then 3 groups there, the Kono, the Gizi, and the Kranko, but the Kono people them as the lead now this area. Kwendu Town or Kwendu City, now they reside. Then 3 groups there, around Sewa River, SEWA, towards Kabbalah. More the Kranko people and then they towards Kabbalah. Then if you look up towards the map, Kabbalah did it, we get Rokel River, and down the map, now near Liberia. I want to make Lona be mindful of what's in at the elaborates on so. So the Kono, the Gize, the Kranko people in, they live now Kwendu Town, around Sierra River, Kenema, and up towards Kabbalah. Now the map, then they up towards Kabbalah area, also near Guinea. The map always they explain how we people can come inside Salon. Near Guinea, then they don't show say a route or a place where the cable migrates from. Then we continue to the next. The Mende people them and the Shabro people them, they share the same area. Mende people and Denabo, the Denataya River, and the Shabro people and also Denabont and Shenge. And mindful also the Mende people also Denabont. So let's go over this again. The Mende people and reside in Abo, Taya River, and Bont. The Shabro then also Denabont and Shenge. And then 2 tribes there. If you look at the map, they're near Turtle Island and Bont Island. Again, around the Atlantic. Turtle Island and Bont Island. This now be their own route for migrants come inside Salon. Then the Creole them, we don't already know how the migrants come inside Salon. Always masters them, or the whites or the colonial masters them, but don't done with we. They can't left the Creole people them. Now free tongue, give them a place. For me them back reside. So we know say them been there, then take them, then go, then first then come back. Now the Limba people, let's go to the Limba people them. We get the Limba, the Loko, and the Yalonka people them. Limba, Loko, and Yalonka people them. Then at the area there. Kabbalah, Makeni, Lonsar, Guinea, and Cambia. When you looking at the map, and then at the center of the country. Also, down the map, close to it, they were close to Guinea. So this don't show another route from Guinea again. But now be mindful of them few points as they are the Guinea, based on the maps. These 10 routes they are who will migrate and come inside. Then the last but not least, the Timni them. We get the Timni man, the Fula man, the Soso and the Mandingo them, and the Limba them. The Limba them also included by this. Because history also they show that the Limbas them be there up in the mountains. Up in the mountains, meaning around Kabbalah area. But they also scattered then at the north. And when the Timni man come inside Salon, the Limba man, now they be able to usher the Timni man or even allow them for lodge now the north. That's what we go put some. Because I didn't give you place for stay. So the Limba man, they all say, be mindful of that. Not just, no, they no more na Bunt area. But from the Kabbalah up north and the mountains, all around the north, Makeni now, Lonsao now, Magboka now, Kabala, Cambia now, then they all side. So the Timni, the Fula, the Sosoni Mandingo, and the Limba, then reside in that area there. And again at the map, then they up towards Kabbalah, and at the center of the country, the map itself. So now let we continue. Let we now understand what's how they try for head. So we don't prescribe the closeness of Guinea and Liberia, because even Bont Island, they near Liberia. Then Guinea, they near most of the other tribes there, Usai, the Limba, the Timnimane can reside. Now then beyond migrate and route standing from Guinea for Kansai Saloon. And the rest of the map, it shows say the Atlantic Ocean cover Sierra Leone. So we only get about 2 destinations there for enter inside Saloon. Now remember this. Now Guinea and Liberia or the Atlantic Ocean. Let's say 3 routes. Now let we continue. Based on the Mandingo people them. Well, I began to audience about a few months ago where we want to make like discuss about the Mandika people them, the Mandingo people them. Well, today you time don't reach. For let you get small history on them with people there, the Mandingo people them. And I will clarify a few things them on this false prescription what they can give now. Let everything sit down on it proper before we hit to the next journey or the next topics. There were Mandingo people there. They know them as the Mandika people them, or the Maliki people them. The Mandingo then they get so many other names than what they call them. Now a group where they scatter all over this West African coast. Then they in Guinea, then in Mali, then in the Gambians, then in Ivory Coast, then in Senegal, then in Guinea-Bissau, and then in Salon. They scatter all over this West African coast. The Mandingo people. Now they are the descendants of the Great Mali Empire. The Great Mali Empire. I will elaborate on this soon. And this Great Mali Empire then flourished all over West Africa. From the 13th century to the 16th century. What do you mean by flourish again? Then spread all over the West African coast. The name Madina with the M-A-D-I-N-A or M-A-N-D-I-N-A. It come out from a racial term. A racial term meaning whether they discriminate against certain people or group. They call it the Mandi people. M-A-N-D-E. The Mandi people or the Mandi, it means people. Or the people of the Mandis. And what's in the Mandi mean? This now people where they talk or speak different dialects. Meaning that they talk different languages them. Now this Mandi people them. And this Mandi people them, they all get different languages where they talk. And they all belong now the Mali Empire. The Empire of Mali. And the founder of this empire, now Sundiata Keita, with the S-U-N-D-I-A-T-A. Keita. Excuse me pronunciation. Sundiata Keita. Now, in the founder of this Mali Empire. And I be a great warrior. So now let me explain this clearly for una we don't understand. The Mandi people, it consists of so many different tribes. So many different tribes where they in one group. And this one group, now in the Mali Empire. And remember in those days, when I said the Empire of Mali now be a great empire, even the Westerners, they will not be able to infiltrate through this empire. Because these Africans there, when they all come together or amalgamate together, they be very rich and then be very powerful and we get great warriors them. So meaning the empire be consist of the Mende people them, the Timni people them, the Fula people them, name it. All the tribes now where they talk different language belong to this empire. So now be a great empire na Mali at the moment where represents the whole West African coast. You know, so to me this now also a sign of unity, would then be unified, and also now be a sign of security. Where the Westerners them, or we neighbors them, the Portuguese them, not be able to infiltrate. But there was a time where they able to infiltrate. I will explain as we progress. So the Mandingo people then, they come out from this great empire. You know, the Mali Empire. And they scatter all over the West African coast. Also Sierra Leone and Ivory Coast as well. And then are then countries they are. So we don't conclude that for the Mandingo people. Now the Soso people. And we can begin to see the relation between the tribes they are. The Soso people and also they're part of this Mandi ethnic group. That means they belong back to that Mandi group there. They primarily come out in Guinea and northwestern Sierra Leone. Inside Sierra Leone, they reside mostly in Gambia district. Gambia. Then Soso people there. They're predominantly Muslims them. But they share similarities them with some of them groups there now, or tribes there, what they can explain to now. They get similarities them in language and in their way of doing things. The Yalonka people, they get similarities with the Soso people. The Mandika people, they get similarities with the Soso people. The Kranko people, they get similarities with the Soso people. And the Soso people, they also will believe that they are the descendants of the Mali Empire. The 13th century, around the 13th century. And they are considered also a homogeneous ethnic group. Meaning the similarities were they amongst them groups there. Whether in the language or the lifestyle, the way of doing things. They also migrated to Futa Jalon, which is Guinea. Now the mountainous region, Middle Guinea. They migrated, go also to Guinea. The Soso people, the main language in Guinea, then they talk. Now Soso, we can say 1.1 million or more people and they talk this language. Now Guinea, based on the Susu people there. So they're very vast and they're very large and very spread as well. Now be mindful of that. Excuse me. Now let we continue. So now with the Itzenel for the Kranko people. The Kranko people and they spell them K-O-R-A-N-K-O. Some them go spell them K-U-R-A-N-K-O. Them also predominantly in Islam people. They also belong now the Mandi people group or the ethnic group. So now be mindful of what I tell you again. This Mandi group, now most of them with tribes they are, related and come up from. Meaning now the Mali Empire. They also belong now the Mandi group. They also reside in Guinea and Sierra Leone. Then Kranko people they are. But then Kranko people they are also again belong to the Mali Empire, which the history the states. They resided in Salon at the northeastern side, then in Guinea at the southern side. They get similarities again with the Mandika or the Mandingo people. Then Kranko people there. They get similarities also with the language, with the Soso people. Also with the Yalonka people. So the language might be different a little, but they understand themselves in certain words then or certain sayings them. Now I mean by similarities. So now let we continue to the local people. The local people also then related to the ethnic group of the Mandi group. But also related to the Gola people. The local people here. They're related to the Loma people and to the Bandi people with the G-B-A-N-D-I. But they also belong now the Mali Empire. The Mandi group again. And then local people here, they begin to migrate around 300 AD. 300 AD, that means after the death of Christ, from Mali So that means now Mali them be there, when they begin to migrate, begin go na other countries them. But the local them, history believes say, now the West Atlantic speakers them. They used to call them the Sapes, with the S-A-P-E-S, or Sapes. The local, then are the ancient towards them, of them southwestern and people there, or the Hondu people with the H-O-N-D-O. Also, the proto group of the Mandi people, the proto group with the P-R-O-T-O group of the Mandi people or group as well. So if this proto group consists of the Mandi people, then they don't show say they also get relation with the Mali Empire. They also associated or belong to this empire. Then the local and the Bandi people, then let's tell them now how they begin to migrate. Or what to make them migrate. Then begin for follow establish roads them will be done already been created. Then roads they are now for trade. So the local and the Bandi people then they begin to follow them road there from Liberia to Salone. They look for salt and cola. For what are they? Or for what's in? Local man back be the goal away for Fena. So the local man they look for salt and cola for them Portuguese agents there. When them back we don't begin to travel on this West African coast around the empire. They begin to chat them with Africans there, say they want salt and cola. So local people there be there on the journey for fen, salt and cola. They can't take Guinea and Liberia and Sierra Leone. This now around the 15th century. So now the local people there, another great thing where they can relate now the local and the Timniman together, where they can show say Timniman get a longer history than the Futa Jalon itself, because we'll not get a time frame or specifically. Speed 1991. This now a author. Speed 1991. It states that it said the Timni and the local them they beget a long, complicated contact. That means the Timniman and the local man they contact with them they get a complicated. That means they nobody agree. Maybe disputes be there between them people there. And the Timniman they say that then drove the Creole then drove. Now then drove the local man into the present territory today. So that means who side the local man be originated from or who side them be there, the Timniman then begin for move them or begin for drive them till they can end up in a saloon. You know, so if the local man gets a history up to the 15th century and they say the Timniman and then be the one that then local man here. So Timniman, it don't show say they might get a history from the 15th century, you know, after the death of Christ, you know. So again, now a good tie with the Timniman and the local man. We don't know what thing will take place between all two. But we go classify something back again. All them tribes there, not just the local and the Timniman, all the other tribes there, they go and fetch themselves. And this make we scatter. And this make the Mali Empire scatter. I will elaborate on that as we continue. So now we continue to the Gizi people. The Gizi people, this is another interesting one. They say before the 17th century, they occupied the upper Niger region. The upper Niger region, because now so the Westerners there, we don't they use them racial term. Now make them call we the Mandi group because of the different languages them. And Niger is a term of the color. But the Niger region and the West African coast itself, that make you now understand. So the Gizi people there, they be occupied the upper region of the Niger region. And then be there at this region also around Futa Jalon, Guinea area. But the Yaloka people there, when I listen to this clearly, and proper one. The Yaloka people there, now they expel the Gizi people there from Futa Jalon. That means the Yaloka people there, and then drive the Gizi people there from Usadembide, now Futa Jalon. Then the Gizi people, they migrated, they begin to move, they begin to move, go west. When they begin to move, go west, then back, they go and tackle the Limba people. Then back, they expel the Limba people. So the Yaloka people expel the Gizi people from Guinea. The Gizi people, and then back on the way, where they go and mash up the Limba people. But they be there on constant threat from the Kranko people. You hear this? So they be there on constant threats from the Kranko people. But now the Yaloka people drive them. Then back go drive the Limba. But the Yaloka people and the Kranko people, they after them Gizi people. Now what's in history say? Oh? But now we continue here. So then Gizi people here. Now a West African ethno-linguistic group individuals. Ethno-linguistic group individuals. The word ethno-linguistic, it means the interrelation between languages and culture, and also behaviors. The ethno-linguistic, the group itself now, where you affiliate the two words then together, now a unification of both the common, ethnic groups and the languages where unify together, they amalgamate together and become as one. But then Gizi people here, you also find them in Liberia. Then the Liberia and also the inside Salon. The Gizi language, it belongs to the Mandi group, the empire, again the Mali empire. And they originated from Usaden Komot. They say the modern day Ivory Coast. Now they the Gizi people really originated from the modern day Ivory Coast. And what's in the known then Gizi people here for? They know for make baskets and weaving on vertical looms. Now some of them trademarks and this what's in the good part. So now let we continue. So the Kono people the last of the list before we begin to give now the hypothetical view and what's in transparent between them groups there. And we also go blame some of them groups there. And also the help for Puel Mama Salon. I'm not going to forget about that. So we Kono people. Some they pronounce or spell this word Kono with the K-O-N-O. Some they go spell it with the K-O-H-N-O-H. Kono people not so funny people Now be major people now the Mali Empire. They also belong now the Mandi group. And then inside Salon. Now a descendant of the Mali and the Guineans. Then Kono people here. They migrated to Kono in the mid-16th century. I want to repeat this again. Then Kono people here, they migrated, then come inside Kono around the 16th century, peacefully as hunters them. The Kono people, now a direct descendant, now listen to what in history say, not to what in Tazmo say. Now a direct descendant of the Mandingo people, or the Vai people, a direct descendant. And the Kono people, now be once a powerful people inside Mali and Guinea. Powerful people inside Mali and Guinea. A direct descendant of the Mali and the Mandingo people. All this take place inside Mali, the Mali Empire. They belong to the Mandi groups. So this don't show say the Kono the population not too boko as much as Salon, but the people in back we get a long history and a strong and a powerful history, and we need for honor the Kono people because some of them don't even know their own history. But we not blame the Kono people or the other tribes there. We blame with systems in a Salon, with government, the professors the teachers we're not able for lecture some of the informations there for make sure say we empower with locals with tribal people or with Sierra Leoneans as a whole. But let we continue. So now my own hypothetical view based on them tribes there. We don't know say the Creole people them People that will be currently be in a salon, we then take, they can go overseas, they go learn the language, we then come with the language Creole. So me now, I want to classify this language, this time your hypothetical view, and we go add this to history, because all the languages then what the Africans that they talk, then belong to the Mandi groups. So now Creole don't become part of this group here. So me views them, because they may take the Africans them, can they go to the Western or Europe, then back they go learn a new language, then first they come back to Africa, recite them in free tongue, and this Creole language, not so just Sierra Leoneans and they talk Creole language in Nigeria, in Ghana, in Liberia, name it. Most African countries they now, of course, they learn for talk Creole, whether not a pidgin Creole or broken English or patois, whatever way you call it, now Creole. So that's not become a language and a tribe also. So we go associate this language to the Mali Empire, to the Mandi people, and this will be recent, up to date by Tazmo Sliz the servant. And what's I want to enforce? People, we are a real great transformers. This don't show say people can transform. And no matter how say you put Motaman they transform. Motaman they adapt. Motaman can become very acclimatized to any situation, become accustomed to any situation or in surroundings. So, and when Motaman become accustomed or able to transform, that means it can able to pick up one language and transform it to another language. So now, so some of them with languages there in Africa, don't they expand? Maybe from one or two different language. Some they take their languages there, they migrate to go in a different place, they formulate and create a different language based on the association, from the previous languages they wouldn't get. Now this make we languages they don't become broader and don't spread, and so many in Africa. But now we continue to the greatness of this empire in Africa. When they can talk, say Africa will be a great place, a great continent. Some of we up to now will not believe that. If the Mali Empire now be a great empire, which consists of all the Mandi groups there, that means different type of tribes, different languages, people, you unify and come as one. And those days, remember that the white man still exist. And the first place was with the black man, I believe, so we migrate from now Egypt. The 12 lost tribes. From the 12 lost tribes, we end up now Mali and Sudan. From Mali and Sudan, we create another empire where make we strong again. Well, what the empire begin for scatter, begin to move now different African regions them. Now this make we become weaker and make the Portuguese them and the Westerners them able to infiltrate through the great Mali Empire. But before then, they're not be able to infiltrate through this empire, because we will get strong military or strong force and will be rich. And history don't show say some of the tribes them they travel for look for salt and cola now Sierra Leone, Liberia, and so for give to the agents there, meaning the Portuguese them. So the Portuguese them they can inside Africa or inside this Mali Empire for can exploit, for can see what thing be they go on. And when they say now Christopher Columbus now discover Africa, we not get that wrong. Christopher Columbus not discover Africa, or inside the Mali Empire be there. We be already they exist. Income for can make sure say the tribes them be they scatter, because now in be the information giver to the Westerners them, because they all too see an opportunity for business. Again, the Portuguese and they see chance for business. The Westerners and they see chance for business, for capture the blacks and go use them as slaves, for capitalize on them. So the Portuguese them, now they announce we say, them and they don't scatter. They not unify again. That great Mali Empire would all be stick together. All the different languages and they all harmonize, they come together. Now they don't begin to fetch themselves. They don't begin to scatter themselves. Because history also don't show say the Timlimami they push the Locoman The Yalonkale be they push the Giziman, and all man be they go and push other tribes them because of space or land or territory. Now this will be the effect we set for. So now this make the Westerners there and the Portuguese there able for kind of Africa and capture we as slaves them. And use we until they tire with we. Well, no, not tire with we too. Because they still use we up to now. But now this take place with history. And then two groups there don't they work together before. And for now I don't think so again they work together, the Portuguese them. But we get Boku blacks them where reside inside Portugal. We get Boku blacks them where reside even in the Hispanic places them. Inside they talk the Hispanic languages them. The blacks them spread all over because of the captivities there of we black people them. For go reside in them countries there. So we don't know now say what's in we try for conclude so. We don't understand say all we tribes say who gets na saloon. We all come out from one place or from one group, which is the Mali Empire. So una we can be tribalistic or want be tribal, or we can not just the things say salon belong to you and not belong to you. We all now we move Kanaya because of war. Whether na the jihad war, whether na personal war, whether na cultural war, but we be the fetch we serve for land and space, so they move other tribes them. And this make we scatter. But at the end of the day, we all now one people them from one place, belong to the Mali Empire and belong to one group, the Mandi people them. So I want to make sure we put all differences aside, let we understand this today. And some of them subgroups there, we all get on for Point Mama Salon. No matter how much we know Boku, because we're kind to population rate, the Timni, the Mende, the Fulade, don't they populate this country more than most of the other subgroups there. But we now all get on for play within governance. Because at the end of the day, we all vote. And most of we within here, we do business system. We all add or contribute to society, whether negatively or positively. But for let's alone better, I blame we all as a whole. Because now we all will be the fetch we serve from Mali till we end up in a salon, and we still in a salon with the fetch we serve. And we now remember say salon now be the last place. No other side again not be there for move go. Now be the last bus stop. We don't move all the other country there. Take Guinea, Liberia, Salon become the last bus stop. So if we then at the last bus stop, we fetch ourselves, where they make progress, we get this political negative influence where they take place also among we, based on tribal issues. We just a fool we self. And the white man or the Westerners then just they laugh we. Because they know say that this same corruption now will be starts with inside Mali. Will the empire be great? Till the empire dismantle. And now we don't kind of we own small sub-regions there. We still affect ourselves. We're not able to be great up to now. So you see man like Gaddafi, them the pioneer for let Africa become united. Not to a big fool. Because they know their history. They know how Africa be there once and before. A great nation. When I think about the history of the Ethiopian system, even the Christianity gets a deep or a profound history inside Ethiopia. And inside Ethiopia, they begin to find one of the oldest mortal man in the world. Not to Europe. They said the oldest mortal man that we don't survive in the world. They burn them. Now inside Ethiopia, they begin to find some of them people there. So Ethiopia gets a long history, not just after the death of Christ, but before Christ itself. So Africa, Lord, we try for know we history, and we professors them, whether are their institutions they are, because for teach history, not to for just talk about what's in the pantap. You got to go in depth, you got for study, you got for try for face cam, narrations them, associations them together, we go conclude say we are not lost, but we'll be once unified and harmonized together, and we'll get a great history in the past. Not for just talk what happened small in the past and the contemporary. Some man don't even know all what I prescribe so today. They don't go to school for how many years? They don't know even what I just don't talk so today. So we not blame just we professors them. We also blame government, because governments forget an institution who for go able for go to save some of we histories them, so we're not going to ever be lost in the next 5, 10, 20 years to come. Because I the wonder in the next 60 years if Solomon go sabi with history again. We not get any building there for say this is a building history, a place where you can able go, you go observe about Salon history or so about certain documentaries them. We not get in a salon. Now just then say, or would I sabi small about Salon history again full the rest of the one they will not sabi. So would they beg una take this course here very serious, because without history there's no foundation. There's no root. And without your root, you are lost. So I'm left una with this. Bless and peace. Now una boy again Tazmo Sliz. I tell una thank you for this moment and for this day. And una get a blessed day. Thank you.